Ball State head coach Brady Sally. Coach, entering year 13, how was your summer with the group and how ready are you to get this season going?
Yeah, it's as long as I've been doing this, it's interesting how our game has changed so much with summer access. Everybody's always excited about the beginning of practice, and we're 6 practices in, but I mean we've been going since middle of July. So in a way, I almost feel like we're pretty close to game ready, and that comes a little bit with all the veterans we have, 6 seniors, a ton of experience. And so I think one of our biggest jobs is going to be maybe at times pulling the reins and slowing them down a little bit so we can make sure that we get the foundation where we want it to be so that we can build on it. But we're excited about this group, and really from the get-go in the summer, it's been awesome.
Well, this team has had plenty of success over the last few years. Last year, obviously included. You mentioned all the returners, 6 seniors, 8 returning players from last year's squad. How much will you rely on them to maintain this consistent level of success?
Yeah, I mean, my plan this year is really just to sit on the bench with my legs crossed and let those seniors go to work. That would be the ideal season, probably not only for me, but for them too, right? No, it helps me sleep a little bit at night knowing the experience we have. The 4 returners, we can start with them. I mean, they've been on every stage you could imagine in their time here. MAC championship games, beating SEC opponents, playing the best of the best in Notre Dame and UConn. And so there's nothing that they haven't been through that they're going to see, right? And then when you bring in Power 4 transfers, and I think one of the most dynamic guards in our league, and Lachelle Austin transferred to us as well. The pieces are in place. And so I've joked with a few people that I've talked to in some interviews. If I can stay out of their way, they got a chance to even do more than we did last year. And I say that a little bit tongue in cheek, but there's some truth to it. I think when you've got the experience we have, the talent we have, I think it's tough not to want to overcoach them and just to trust them. But their talent level, their work ethic makes it easy to trust them at the same time. So it's going to be a fun year. We're looking forward to it.
You talked about how the summer has changed so much since you've been coaching. Also, a big change is obviously the transfer portal, which you just mentioned. You're bringing in some big transfers from real talent in the offseason. What more can you tell us about some of your newcomers and what they're adding to this group?
Yeah, I think the first thing that we did at the end of last season was we looked at who was returning, right? We looked at specifically our 4 seniors, right? Allie Becky, Maddie Bischoff, Marie Kiefer, and Alex Richard. Those kids made a commitment to Ball State in a tumultuous time, right? I mean, the buzzards were circling in the transfer portal, and probably they all had opportunities to look elsewhere. And so the first thing we came to was we want to capitalize on these 4 young ladies that have meant so much to Ball State. Have been loyal to me, loyal to this program, loyal to one another. And so we wanted to put people around them, regardless of class, that were going to help them get to where they want to go desperately. And so we identified size, rebounding, paint, presence as something we needed. And we went out and took care of that. So, we brought in Malia Johnson from Texas A&M, 6'3", has played in the SEC, and it's funny because you're evaluating these kids, and I'm watching her play against Angel Reese as I'm evaluating her, trying to decide if she can help us. Pretty easy evaluation, right? And then, Elise Stuck from Michigan is a young lady that we felt would have been a great fit coming out of high school. We tried to recruit her and she had other opportunities. But I don't know that there's anybody that has walked in the door that is a better fit for how we play in the system. She's so versatile, big and strong, but can really play without the ball, can just do everything that we covet in a player. And then Tessa Towers, 6'5", clearly is going to provide a presence for us down low. And then, the one player that we did lose in that rotation was Nyla Hampton. Those are big shoes to fill, the defensive player of the year, and two-time defensive player of the year. And so we identified Lachelle Austin from Eastern Michigan pretty quick. And I've always loved her game. I've always loved the way she played. And Allie will tell you, who will be on here later, one of the first things I did was go to Allie and say, hey, you okay with playing with Lachelle Austin? Because, when you have those battles with interconference teams, it can get heated, so you want to make sure that all that's going to work first and foremost. And so I really feel like with those 4 kids we brought in out of the portal, not only are they good players and they check all the boxes, but they're good fits. And with the culture like we have, that's been so successful, that was the first thing we had to make sure we got right. And I feel like we certainly did.
Well, I do want to ask you about Allie Becky, All-MAC first team, All-MAC defensive team, academic All-MAC, quite literally does it all. What can you say about how much she has brought to your program and what you expect from her in her senior season?
Yeah, as good of a player as she is, and clearly she's, if not the best in the league this year, she's certainly in that conversation. The thing that just jumps off the page to me daily is the loyalty that she showed this program. And listen, she's as talented as has ever come through here. Her jersey will be hanging in this arena one day. And if it's not, I'm going to get some people fired that are making those decisions. So, she's that special to us. And I think what she's poured into this program, there's nobody that works harder. There's nobody that wants it more. I think she's a consummate teammate. And she's a lot of fun to coach. She's that kid that I like to give players a hard time, and I like to think I'm funny, and I like to think that they're laughing at my jokes because they think I'm funny too. But it may just be about playing time. I'm not sure. But either way, it's fine with me. But she gives it back. She's got that kind of personality, and at times you think there's a halo overhead, and at times there's a couple horns sticking out, and that's the fun of who she is and her personality. But it's also the way she's wired on the court. Just a intense competitor, and wants the ball in the big moment. She's everything you want a lead guard to be, and clearly one of the best I've ever coached, if not the best.
Well, you and I spoke at the MAC tournament last year, and you told me how motivated that team was to win that tournament. How does a tournament loss fuel this group going into this season?
Man, it's still hard to talk about because I feel like we were the best team there. And in the MAC for years, 20 years I've been involved in this league. More times than not, the best team doesn't win it, just because of the parity in this league. And you tip your hat to Kent State, and specifically the Shoemate kid who kind of put them on their back and said, listen, we're not losing to Ball State 3 times in a year. And that's the way those tournaments go down sometimes. And so to say we're not still sick about it would be an understatement. But it's the beauty of college athletics too. You got to turn the page and you got to move on to the next year. And we're so different. I mean, we're the same in a lot of ways. The coaches are the same, the core is the same, but we've got 6 new players in here, and man, they're all talented. So I think it has us excited about this new journey. And our non-conference schedule is going to get released here pretty soon. And I don't think it's any secret that we play a real schedule, and it's going to be a challenge. And I think our players are excited about that as well. So First things first, we got to get ourselves ready to play and get into that non-conference. And, here we think a lot about building resumes, and part of that is the non-conference, and the conference schedule will come when it comes. So, this senior group wants this badly. These four, it's really all they've talked about since they've been here. And I think they understand at a high level, this is it. And you're going to get everything they have. I can promise you that.
You said your team is obviously a lot different than in what it was last year. What do you want and hope the identity of your team is this season?
Well, I think the awesome thing about this job is, teams kind of build that identity on their own. I think the best programs are player-led programs. And so it would be easy for me to go in and say, okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's who we're going to be. Here's all those kind of things. I think it's more powerful when I can sit back a little bit and let it kind of happen organically. I think what I've seen so far is we're going to be physical. We're clearly big, but this has been 6 of the most physical practices that I've been a part of. I think you could ask our male practice squad how differently that is right now. This team is, I think, willing to do some of the dirty work that it takes to win ugly at times. I think last year we won a lot of games pretty. We turned teams over, and we went and laid it up and scored quick and did all the stuff. And a couple games we had to grind it out. Maybe got the best of us. So I think, I always take pride in my teams being tough. I don't think that'll be any different. I think we've always taken pride in the way we've moved the ball and share the ball. I don't think that'll be any different. We're going to shoot it at a high level. I don't think that'll be any different. But there will be some physicality and some toughness on the floor that hopefully I think people will notice and will be different.
Well, Coach, before I let you go, I do want to ask you about the conference as a whole, which you did kind of just touch on before in terms of talking about your non-conference schedule. When Kent State won last year, there was a lot of chatter. Would we see Ball State in the tournament? Would we see Toledo in the tournament? Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But what can you say about the level of competition that you guys face on a nightly basis in the conference, and maybe the respect that this conference deserves?
Yeah. No, I think one of the points of pride that all of us as coaches have in this league is we know how good it is. I think the women's basketball world knows how good it is. Now the powers that be have set up the tournament in a way that makes it extremely hard for mids to get an honest look. And we all know why they did it. So we don't have enough time on this interview to get into it. If you want to have another one, I'm more than happy to go into it. But it just is what it is. I think we as a league understand it. We know what we have to do. I think if any of those committee members followed us around as we're trying to schedule games in this league, in the non-conference, I think they would understand how good this league is, because teams absolutely just flat out do not want to play the likes of us or Kent State or Toledo or what have you. And so I've always thought this league was special in that way. The parity is unbelievable. I don't think this year is going to be any different. I'm excited about some of the new coaches that came in, getting their second year, getting their feet on the ground a little bit, getting some of their kids in, because I think this league's only going to elevate and get better and better. And I look forward to those competitions. And I think it's one thing that we take a lot of pride in, as year in and year out. We've always been there. We've always been in the conversation. We want the conversation to end with us this year.
No question. Well, Coach, it's coming soon. Basketball is upon us. Thank you so much for taking the time. We'll see you soon.
Always great talking to you. Thanks.
Thanks. Joining me now is Ball State's Allie Becky. Allie, thank you so much for taking the time, getting ready for another season, your senior season. You guys accomplished a lot last year as a group. How much are you looking forward to running it back, you being one of the 4 seniors returning?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited. It's our last year, and I came in with a lot of the seniors that are here now, and I mean, it means a lot to us, and we've talked about it and everything like that, and it's our last year. We have to go out strong, so we're really excited, and it's a bittersweet moment, but it's gonna be fun.
You did lose a few pieces to either graduation or the transfer portal, but the coaches were aggressive in that transfer portal as well. How much will the foundation of this team that you helped build play a role in your success this year? And what have you learned from some of those new players coming in?
Yeah, I mean, what Brady was talking about, how like all our majority of the transfers are from like the Power Five schools, and then just like Lachelle coming in from Eastern Michigan. I mean, they're all very competitive, and we all have the same goal and wanting to win. And so just seeing them being competitive in practice makes me even more competitive, and it makes us get better every day. And I just see that like making us more successful. And I mean, the 2 freshmen coming in, they're helping a lot, and they're definitely gonna help uh during our games and for practice or whatever it is, however they get involved. And yeah, I mean, it's gonna be fun. And yeah, we've been doing a lot as a team, and we've been going to like doing community service and stuff like that, and just like bonding as that. And then hopefully we'll go to like it's called Indy Screen Park. It's like a haunted Halloween place. So just like getting outside of basketball and hanging out and just building those friendships.
Yeah, no doubt that team bonding is so important. For you last season, Allie, All MAC first team, All MAC defensive team, academic All MAC, you were literally doing it all. I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but how do you continue to push and motivate yourself to perform at such a high level?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I feel like a lot of people like who are student athletes realize like the pressure and everything like that. And I don't know, just my dad helps me a lot. He's a big basketball fan, and like we talk about almost everything basketball related, and he helps me get through a lot, especially with the pressure. And so does Audrey, my assistant coach, or my position coach. She's been through it. She's played at Ball State, and she's really helped me with that, as well as the other coaches. They know, they've been student athletes. And then also just having faith. I feel like that's helped me a lot, and just relying on God and just doing everything that it lead in his way or something like that. But yeah.
Well, no doubt you're going to be looked at as one of, if not the leader of this team this season. What does leadership look like to you?
Yeah, I mean, since my freshman year, I feel like they've been on me for a while. And then for me, like I kind of like to lead by example. But since I'm a senior this year, I've just been through it for the 4 years. I just feel like they've just been trying to get me to like be more vocal. And so I've been trying to work on that and go about it in a positive way, and just being having my holding my teammates to a higher standard. And I mean, it's just not everyone can be perfect, but I mean, perfect is what we want to be. And yeah, I mean, just holding not only them to the like standards, but also having them holding me to my standards as well.
Well, Coach talked about it as well. This is a team that brings back the same staff. You have the same core, but there are a number of different players on it. He talked about what he thinks the identity of this team will be. What do you think the identity of this team will be?
I think it's just gonna be our willingness to win. I think we are very, again, I keep saying this, we're very competitive, and no one likes to lose, and it's just everyone's chirping on the court, but not in a bad way. It's always competitiveness, and just trying to get under people's skin, push them to the next level. And so I think just like being aggressive, and just we show so much effort. We just need to stay disciplined.
Now, as you enter your senior season, Allie, do you have any individual and then maybe any team goals for the group?
Yeah, I mean, my individual goal is MAC Player of the Year. I feel like that's just a good goal to have, and I've been trying to strive. I've been trying to get to that since freshman year. I mean, there was multiple people that did win it that did deserve it. But yeah, that's one of my main goals. And then obviously for us to go to the MAC championship and win and then go dancing. So that's the team goals and just continue to win.
All right, Allie, before we let you go, we are going to do some quick rapid fire questions with you to get to know you a little better. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, Allie, what's your favorite food?
I like Mexican.
Okay.
Yes.
Favorite place to go on vacation?
Ooh, I went to Cancun with one of my teammates and that was very fun.
Awesome.
Yes.
Song you can't get out of your head right now.
Shoot. Linger. That's
Oh.
that one. Yeah.
A little old school. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Dream job outside of basketball.
Something to do with like sales.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite color?
I'm gonna say a turquoise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hidden talent?
I can juggle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Favorite movie?
I would say all the Home Alone movies.
That's a classic.
Yes.
If I'm visiting campus, where's one place that I need to go?
Either Roots or Elm Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Outside of Ball State, what's the hardest place to play in the MAC?
Toledo, they pack their stadium, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
All right, and one word to describe this year's team.
I would say competitive.
Competitive. I like it.
Yep.
Allie, Becky, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate it, and we will see you soon.
No problem.